For this segment of A Bit of Addison History, I would like to talk about a local historic building that partially dates back to the early 1840s. It is known as the Cruzy Wilkin Aaron's Farmhouse after its early owners and is currently located at 521 West Army Trail Boulevard, west of Memory Lane and east of Mill Road in Addison. According to information in the museum files, William Cruzy bought approximately 80 acres in Addison in the early 1840s and built a small farmhouse. In the 1850 U.S. Census, Cruzy is listed as a farmer living with his wife Wilhelmina and their daughters Mary and Matilda on the farm. Some accounts indicate that Cruzy died soon after the 1850 census, and a Bernhard Friedrich Heinrich Wilkin bought the farm. In the 1860 U.S. Census, Wilkin is living on the property with his wife Wilhelmina and their 7 children. The census also indicates that Wilkin was a rather prosperous farmer with farmland valued at $3,500 and a personal estate of $400. This enabled the family to have a young female servant and a male farm laborer living with them on the farm. In the 1874 DuPage County Atlas, the property is shown to belong to B. Wilkin. In the 1880 U.S. Census, Wilkin, his wife, and 2 of his daughters, Wilhelmina and Joanna, are listed as living on the farm in Addison. Other sources indicate that Bernhard's daughter, Wilhelmina, married a Wilhelm Heinrich Otto Ahrens in Bensonville in 1881, and that they bought the family farm around 1886-1887 for the sum of $8,000. By the 1904 DuPage County Atlas, the property is listed as owned by a W. Ahrens. A brief bio of William Ahrens is included in the 1913 Historical Encyclopedia of Illinois, which denotes his importance at the time. It also mentions that he served as a commissioner of highways for 6 years. Although the property continues to be owned by W. Ahrens well into the 1920s, we know that his son Bernhard H., who was named after his maternal grandfather Bernard Wilkin, had taken over the family farm operations by the late teens. In the 1918 Prairie Farmers Reliable Directory of Farmers and Breeders, B.H. Ahrens is listed as the tenant of 108 acres owned by William Ahrens. In the same directory, the farm is also noted for its breeding of Holstein dairy cattle. In the 1920 U.S. Census, William Ahrens is listed as a retired farmer and now living in Forest Park in Cook County, Illinois. Bernard H. Ahrens, who had married his wife Clara Finke in 1914, are listed as renting and living on the farm in Addison with their 2 young children, Gerhard, 3, and baby Laura, along with a young hired hand. Wilhelm Heinrich Otto Ahrens died in Cook County in October 1922 at age 64. His wife, Wilhelmina, went to live with her daughter, Wilhelmina Ahrens Plass, in Addison before her eventual death in 1943 at the age of 86. They are both buried in the St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Cemetery on Mill Road in Addison. During the early 1940s, the Ahrens farm apparently fell on some hard times and they had to sell some of their herd of dairy cows. By the late 1950s, the land around the farmhouse was sold to a developer, A.P. Ross, for his Pioneer Park subdivision. Pioneer Park includes Memory Lane, Natalie Lane, and Rose Avenue, the latter two streets which were named after his daughter and wife, respectively. Ross would go on to build and sell approximately 300 modest homes in this subdivision. A 6-room, 3-bedroom split level was offered for sale in 1958 for just $19,000. According to the U.S. Newspapers.com obituary index, Bernard Ahrens died on April 6, 1966, at 210 Memory Lane in Addison. This address suggests he was still living on the family property at the southwest corner of West Army Trail Boulevard and Memory Lane at the time of his death. According to a local resident, the Ahrens farmhouse was used as a milk stop after train service from Addison to Chicago was discontinued. Area dairy farmers would bring their 5-gallon milk cans there for pickup. It is unclear when exactly farming and related activities ceased to occur on the property, and the farmhouse became purely a residence. Since at least the mid-1980s, the farmhouse has been the home of John and Janet Canty of Addison. The home is currently listed for sale by the Canty Trust. The 6-room, 3-bath farmhouse is priced for $314,900. How much of the original farmhouse from the 1840s is left is uncertain.